Hello! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hello. Congratulations, and welcome to BSU. My name is Matt, and I work in the Academic Achievement Center at Bridgewater State University. I'm here because I'm an academic advisor, and I'm very smart. And it's my job to help students like you make the transition to college. You're here because you're also very smart. Hey, something in common. And you need to know how to get ready so you can start your first semester as a BSU Bear. So, let me tell you what's going to happen. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to help you learn how to plan out your schedule for your first semester, show you where you can review your personalized course recommendations and set up a registration plan, and let you know how you can make an appointment to meet with an academic advisor to get registered. But before we do that, if you haven't read the advising welcome email you got from new student advising at bridgew.edu yet, go to your BSU email now and take a look. There's important information in there that you don't want to miss. Go ahead, we'll wait. Hey, you're back. So now you know the plan, right? Step 1, watch this video. Step 2, make a registration plan. Step 3, meet with an academic advisor to review your plan and register for classes. And you know that there are a whole bunch of resources to help you throughout the process? You know all that now? Great. Now that we're on the same page, let's boogie. As you start to plan out your first semester, there are 2 important questions you need to answer. 1, how many classes should you take? And 2, which classes should you take? Let's tackle question 1 first. How many classes should you take? Before we can answer that, we need to talk about credits for a second. For every class you complete at BSU, you earn a certain number of credits. Most classes you take at BSU will be worth 3 credits, but you might take some 4 credit and even 1 credit classes along the way too. In order to graduate, you need to earn 120 total credits, so that's the big end goal. When you math out all the math, it turns out that you need an average of 15 credits per semester in order to graduate on a 4-year timeline. 15 credits is going to be about 5 classes, but please pay attention to your credit count as you're putting together your schedule. Now you don't have to take 15 credits each semester if you don't want to. You can take 16 or 17 credits if you want to get ahead of the curve, but keep in mind that you'll pay additional tuition if you take 18 credits or more. You can also take 12, 6, 3, even 1 credit and still be a BSU student. But if you take fewer than 15 credits per semester, it's probably going to take you more than 4 years to graduate, so keep that in mind. Also keep in mind the idea of full-time student status. In order to be considered a full-time student, you need to take at least 12 credits in the fall and spring semesters. So if you need to be full-time for financial aid or athletics or some other reason, make sure you get at least 12 credits on your schedule. Now that we know you want to aim for 15 credits on your schedule to stay on track to graduate in 4 years, what classes do you take to build up to those 15 credits? Well, there are 5 course requirements we want all students to complete in their first year. English 101 and 102, Math, the first year seminar, and Logical Reasoning. During your first semester, you'll need to take an English class and a math class. If you can add the first year seminar and Logical Reasoning as well, that's great! In addition to those courses, you can consider adding 1 or more of these to your schedule as well. Designing Your BSU, a 1-credit course that will help you transition to college and get a better understanding of your academic and career goals. 1 or more classes that are required for your major, for example, Introductory Psychology if you're a psych major, or Principles of Management if you're a management major. Public speaking or oral interpretation to satisfy your spoken communication requirement, and core distribution courses, which all BSU students are required to complete. Ultimately, you'll want to build your 15-credit schedule from those options. Since this is your first semester at BSU, we're going to give you some help getting started. For that, we're going to have to take a trip to the wonderful world of InfoBear. So, InfoBear. What is it, and why should you care about it? InfoBear is the system we use at BSU to keep track of your student data. This includes financial, demographic, and academic information. You'll use InfoBear throughout your time here at BSU to do things like view your financial aid award, review your semester bill, check your grades at the end of the semester, and yes, register for classes. So let's jump in. The easiest way to access InfoBear is from the BSU Student Portal. If you need it, the web address is mybsu.bridgew.edu. From here, just click the link for InfoBear. You'll have to sign in using your BSU credentials. If it asks for your email, enter your full email address. If it asks for your username, enter everything in your email before the @ symbol. You should be notified of your default password when you get your email information. You can change your password after you log in. Now, if this is your first time signing into InfoBear, before you move on, you'll have to answer some demographic questions about your race and ethnicity, your parents' highest level of education, and your gender identity. Once you're past those, you can access the student menu. At the student menu, click on Student Profile. I'm not exaggerating when I say that the student profile is amazing. There's so much useful information here. You can check your grades, look at your full academic transcript, see who your advisor is, check to see if you have any holds, look up your semester schedule, access your degree audit with DegreeWorks. So many activities! Okay, alright, stay focused. I wish we had time to go over them all, but we don't. We're on a mission, and that mission is to get your first semester schedule set up. To do that, we need to go to the registration and planning area. So click and follow me. And here we are, Registration Central. Wait a minute, this isn't Registration Central. Where? Oh, right. Sorry, forgot about this part. Before you can get into the registration area, you need to complete the Student Financial Responsibility Agreement, or SFRA. You have to do this every semester. Basically, you're agreeing to pay for your classes. Click the links and read through the information, then click the Confirm Agreement button when you're ready. Once you've done that, you can click the link to continue to registration and planning. For real this time! Here's the registration area. Welcome! There are a lot of directions we could go from here, but before we dive right into register for classes, we're going to set up a registration plan. This will allow you to search for classes and build a draft schedule before you actually register for anything. To do that, we click Plan Ahead. Select the term we're planning for, and here we go. Welcome to Registration Planning. The first thing you'll probably notice here is that someone has already set up some course recommendations for you. That's right, one of your friendly neighborhood academic advisors has already taken a look at your record and given you some suggestions to get started. When you first get here, you should see a sample plan with recommendations for English and math. Depending on your major and placement, you may also see other recommended courses like logical reasoning, designing your BSU, or courses related to your major. The advisor may also have included some additional notes for you. If you see this sticky note icon on your recommendations, click it to view those other notes. For example, if you should do a first-year seminar class, your advisor will make a note of that here. Take a minute to look over your course recommendations and write down the courses you should be planning to register for. You'll be using these recommendations soon, and it'll be helpful to have this list in front of you as you're building your plan. Because that's the next step, build your registration plan. Don't worry, I'm here to help. Now, before we click that Create a New Plan button, a quick word about English and math classes. Which English and math classes you see on your recommended courses list depend on your major and your placement results. You did submit the English placement essay and take the math placement test, right? If you have completed your English and math placement, you may notice that you have two recommended English or math classes. For example, English 101E and English 144, or Math 122E and Math 122T. These are what we call paired courses. It's one class that has two parts, but both of the parts go together. If you see this on your list of recommended courses, you'll need to add one of each to your plan. We have lists of these paired courses on our new Student Advising and Registration website, so check there if you need help. Now, which English and math classes you place into will also influence some of the other classes you'll take in your first semester. For example, if you place into the English 101E and 144 pair, you should not take your first year seminar at the same time. Wait until next semester to do that. Likewise, if you place into Math 090, Math 095, or one of the Math 105, 110, or 122 paired classes, then you should wait until next semester to do your logical reasoning requirement. Finally, if you're an undecided student and don't yet have a major, you won't see a math class listed on your recommended courses list. This is because which math class you take depends on your planned major. In that case, make sure you click on the note attached to your plan for more information about potential math classes. If you can use that information to add a math class to your plan, that's great. If you can't, then you can discuss it further during your meeting with an advisor. Okay, now that all those notes are out of the way, let's click that button. Building a registration plan is a multi-step process. 1. Look up a course. 2. View the available sections for the course. 3. Pick the section you want and add it to your plan. 4. Save and repeat. I'll give you an example. Let's say English 101, Writing Rhetorically, is one of your recommended courses. Let's look that up. First, enter English for the subject. Then enter 101 for the course number. Click Search, and you should see the English 101 course listing. This is a great first step, but we want to go further and plan out what days and times you're going to take English 101. To do that, click the View Sections button. You see, each course, like English 101 or Math 110, has many different sections you can choose from. Those sections are the same class, they're just taught at different times by different teachers in different locations. Your job, as you're building your registration plan, is to pick out the specific sections of each course that you want to register for. When you click the View Section button, you can see all the options to choose from. Now, before we pick something out, let's take a closer look at these results so you know what you're dealing with. First, the basic information. Course title, subject, course number, section number. These give you general information about the course. A couple of highlights here. First, if you click on the course title, you'll get a pop-up window with more information about the class. It'll give you schedule information, a course description, and tell you about things like prerequisites and whether the class is restricted to certain majors. The other thing to notice is that while the subject and course numbers will be the same for one course, the section numbers will all be different. This can be important in some cases. First, if you have to take a paired course like Math 122E and Math 122T, you want to make sure the sections of each part match up. So if you decide to take Math 122E Section 001, you also have to take Section 001 of Math 122T. Section codes can also give you useful information about a course's format. If you see the letter H in a section code, it's a course for honors students. If you see the letter F, the class is offered at a different campus, like the Attleboro site. IS in a section code means it's an intersession class that's running over winter break. If you see CS in a section code, it's a night or weekend class that may cost extra tuition if you register for more than 12 credits. Section codes can also tell you if a class is offered online or in person. We'll go over online courses in more detail soon. The next important column here is the meeting times column. You can see the days and times when a class is scheduled to meet, as well as location information in most cases. If a letter is highlighted, it means the class will meet on that particular day. Pay close attention to this information. Number 1, you want to set up your schedule in a way that makes sense for you. If you like to stay up until 3 a.m. wearing costumes and fighting crime, maybe avoid early morning classes. You can also use this area to see if a class is being offered online or in person. Look at the building and room notes here. If there's a campus building and room number, the class will meet in person. If the building is listed as online and the room is listed as web, then you're looking at an online course. If a course is online and all the days are blank, then it's going to be an asynchronous online course. In that case, there will be no assigned meeting times. You'll be doing all the work on Blackboard on your own schedule. If a course is online but it does have days and times listed, it'll be a synchronous online class. There will be scheduled online meetings through Zoom or Teams or some other application at the times listed. You may also see some classes that have 2 different sets of meeting times. Those are usually hybrid classes. In most cases, you'll be meeting in the classroom on the assigned days and times, and you'll be doing additional online work outside of that schedule. Finally, don't forget to check the status column. This tells you if a class is full or if it has seats available. If a section has the red full note, then you won't be able to register for it right now. When you get your search results, you want to review all the information we just covered to select the section that works best for you. Be sure to check and see if there's more than one page of results, too. Scroll to the bottom of your search results, and you'll see if there are multiple pages. If there are, you can toggle between different pages, or just set the number of results to 50 to get a longer list to scroll through. When you've reviewed all the options and selected the best available class, scroll all the way to the right and click the Add button. 2 new panels will open at the bottom of the window. The left panel shows you a calendar view of the classes on your plan. The right panel shows you a list view of your planned classes. Next, click the Save Plan button. you'll be asked to give your plan a name, so do that and click Save. There it is, your first BSU class is planned. Now, just click the Catalog Search Results button, then the Search Again button, and repeat the process with the next class on your list. Pretty soon you'll have a whole fistful of classes on your plan. Now, as a reminder, you're going to use the Advisor Recommended Course list to start building your plan. Adding your recommended courses to your plan will be pretty straightforward. You'll look up the subject and course number, find a section that works, and add it. As you're rounding out your plan with additional courses beyond the specific recommendations, though, there are a few quirks to be aware of, so I'll go over some of those now. When you add the Designing Your BSU course to your plan, there are a couple of things to keep in mind. First, the subject for this course is interdisciplinary. Second, look carefully at the course titles when you view the different available sections. Make sure you choose a section that has the title Designing Your BSU. And you'll only want to choose a multilingual section if you're a multilingual student. If you need to add a first-year seminar to your plan, those are a little tricky to find using the plan search. Instead, read through the first-year seminar course descriptions to find a topic that interests you first. There's a link to this website in the advising welcome email you received, as well as on our new student advising and registration page. From here, you can access a document with course descriptions for first-year seminar classes in the upcoming semester. Open the document and browse through the options. You can do the first-year seminar in any subject, so don't feel restricted. Find one or two classes that sound good, and use the subject and course number to look it up and add it to your plan. Finally, if you've added all the recommended courses to your plan, and you still need more to get up to 15 credits, here are some other options that all BSU bears need to complete. Consider adding one or more of these to your plan to round out your schedule. Everyone needs to complete a spoken communication course in their first 2 years of BSU. You can meet this requirement by taking either Communication Studies 102, Public Speaking, or Theater 210, Oral Interpretation. If you're a management or marketing major or a communication studies major, you should take public speaking. Otherwise, you can take whichever course you prefer. Public speaking is what it sounds like. You write speeches and you present them to your class. Oral interpretation is a more dramatic class where you'll be taking things that have already been written, poems, monologues from movies or plays, children's books, and kind of performing them in class. There are also core distribution classes. Everyone at BSU needs to take a certain number of core distribution classes from various academic areas to make sure they get a well-rounded education. For more details about these requirements, take a look at your DegreeWorks audit, or watch our award-deserving video about DegreeWorks at the new Student Advising and Registration website. In order to look up core requirements, you'll need to do an advanced search. Scroll down to the Attributes field and select the core area you're interested in. Your search results will be any classes that meet that core requirement. Scan through the list and view the sections of any courses that sound interesting. If this is your first semester in college, I recommend you try to stick to course numbers in the 100s, so you don't get into any classes that are too advanced. Keep following this process until you finish your plan or get stuck and can't go any further. At this point, it's important to remember that you are not actually registered for classes yet. In order to get these classes on your schedule, you need to take one more step. Make an advising appointment. In your advising welcome email, there's a link you can use to access our scheduling system. When you've gotten as far as you can go with your plan, use that link to make an appointment with an advisor. All appointments will be virtual and will take place using Microsoft Teams. We recommend you download Teams to the device you plan to use for your meeting. Get it set up the day before your appointment so you know it'll work when it's time to meet. During your advising appointment, you'll review your plan with an academic advisor. They'll help you make any necessary changes, and when your plan is ready, they'll help you register for your classes. If you have other questions about starting up a BSU, the advisor can go over those with you as well. We have instructions on how to make an appointment, how to use Teams, and how to attend your appointment on our new student advising and registration website. There's a link in your advising email. Definitely visit that site if you have questions. And that's it! Wow, what a ride! We laughed, we cried, we made registration plans. I don't know about you, but I'll cherish the time we spent together. I hope you've been following along and that your plan is ready to go and you have an advising appointment all set up. In case you need one last reminder though, these are the steps you need to follow to get registered for your classes. Step 1. Watch this video. Hey, you just did that! Nice work! Step 2. Review your list of recommended courses and make a registration plan. Step 3. Meet with an advisor to review your plan and register for classes. You're almost there. If you have questions that you still need help with after watching this, feel free to bring them up when you meet with an advisor. Or you can always email us at newstudentadvising@bridgew.edu. But I hope you have everything you need to get started. Now go on out there and get those classes!